Hey guys, Angie Woods, Dog Psychology 101. Today I'm going to teach you the natural way to trim dog nails. If what we do makes sense to you and you want to learn naturally and make things better for your dog and your relationship, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to get the notifications when new stuff is coming out, hit the little bell so you get notified when we have new videos popping. We're here with Lily today. She pretty nervous about getting her nails trimmed, so I thought we would start with a hard dog because that's why you're looking up this video. You've got a dog having difficulty with nails. She knows the nail trimmers are here. We're going to use a muzzle because she will try to bite, but my entire philosophy is connection and cooperation are massive to get your dog to do anything for you and to have them see it as a more positive thing. She is not going to see this as a positive thing in the beginning, but if we move slowly, we can make this more positive for her. So I want you guys to kind of understand where dogs are coming from, where nail trims are concerned. You know, I teach through a lot of analogies because it helps me teach you how they see the world. A way that I share often is, imagine you go to the nail salon to get your nails done and they quick you. You want to give your hand back? Everybody says no, and that's normal. But what if they said, hey, everybody in the back, come hold her down? This is what dogs go through a lot, whether it's at the grooming or a veterinary clinic. It's just that many people don't understand the psychological side of it. If we just slow down, have them achieve a more calm state, even if it's not a truly calm state, we can see, you know, her eyes are a little dilated, she's worked up, she knows that we're going to trim her nails, but we're just going to be chill and take our time. But that's what they go through. So there's a lot of torture in nail trims with dogs, and this is typically why they form a problem. They associate it with pain and a bad experience. So slowing things down, taking the time to let them recover a little bit, and then trim as you can. It doesn't mean that your goal should be all of the toes. Maybe we only get 5 done, but I want to make it better for her. So the curly tongue is definitely a sign of her being more than average worked up, a little higher in the adrenaline. So when we're using equipment, it's really important that, you know, Lily knows what this is, so she shouldn't be terribly stressed about the situation. But for a dog, if you're using something new, don't just go to work. It's kind of what I call it. Don't just grab something and go to them. Don't try to just put it on them. Like, let them sniff it, let them check it out. Become curious about it. Maybe we touch them, okay? But don't just go to work. We want them to accept whatever it is that we do. If we're going to use a muzzle, I don't want to be chasing her around trying to shove the muzzle on her. I want her to help me put it on. If we just take our time, and of course, what's the first thing we do before we do anything hard? We exercise the dog. We go and try to expend the energy and get them tired. So then they have less energy to fight with me. They have less energy to be worried. Anytime a dog is afraid of something, whether it's a nail trim, a loud car, it doesn't matter what it is. When we learn how to educate them through these reactions, it really builds a lot of trust in your relationship with your dog. They learn that you're not going to hurt them, that you in fact are going to protect them, and they can learn to cooperate with us. So we just kind of take our time. You saw that she kind of knew what this was when I first brought it out. She kind of poked it and sniffed it, so she doesn't see the muzzle as a bad thing. That's always my goal. So the first thing I want to do is just present it. Yeah, and check it out. Okay, so when we're presenting the muzzle, open it up. Sometimes I put a little peanut butter in the bottom, but she knows what this is, so it's not a big deal for her. So I want her, and if she's avoiding, we just take our time. I never accost them with the muzzle, because the muzzle can also be related to a really bad experience as well if you're just grabbing them and shoving it on them. They know that the biting part is incapacitated with it. Hi. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. And I like to fit these a little bit big. We're not going to do anything crazy today. So I want her to be able to breathe, pant. If we were in a different situation, even drink water. You know, I want her to be as normal as she can be with a muzzle on. So these are called basket muzzles. And it's so they can do all those kind of things. If we use a regular mesh muzzle, then they're truly incapacitated. They can't open their mouth. And so when they feel trapped, it's hard to function. Very good. And so just make it good, just relax. So for me, I'm thinking when I'm working with a piece of equipment, how I love the muzzle. So I bring a positive vibe to it. Some people will tell me how they hate muzzles. Any piece of equipment is only bad if we make it bad. I say all the time, guns don't pull triggers. Guns are bad by the people who own them, not the gun. The muzzle's not bad. The muzzle's bad if you make it bad. There. Is that all right? Not too bad? What do you think? I always say we can't be thinking, oh shit. We have to kind of think, well, I always say I take your oh shit and make it a hell yeah. So you want to learn to look forward to the practice a bit, even when they're misbehaving. It's our job to be emotionally fit so that we don't get upset with them. They're just coming from a place of nervousness, like, are you going to hurt me? If they could talk to us, it would be exactly what they would be asking us. Are you going to hurt me? And so I want her to know that I'm not going to hurt her, that we're all friendly. Now when I start touching her feet, that's when we're going to see a little bit of a heightened reaction from her. And our job is just to slow the process down. I kind of like these little nail trimmers versus the big nail trimmers. I can be a little more precise. Sometimes we need the big ones for giant dogs, right? And so as soon as I touch her foot, I mean, she already knew what was going on when she came up here. I want to make sure, just watch her, see her eyes, just watch her. You can see she's talking. When she quits panting, she's really thinking about this. Dogs have a hard time panting and thinking at the same time. Yes, right there. So you see when she stops, that tells me she's a little more uptight. So then we just kind of wait. All right. And that doesn't mean that we don't restrain a dog just because they're having a hard time. Remember, we want to make this better than it was when we started, or the better that it was last time. It doesn't mean we don't restrain. We do restrain sometimes, but I'm really looking for cooperation. And she, at some point, is going to try to bite me. This is why we have the muzzle on. But you have to be unshakable. You know, she could lay down if she wanted to. She doesn't have to. But a couple of restraint things. If I come over the top of her, and I realize that if you don't know a dog, this is more difficult because anytime you come over the top, you're being very dominant. And that can make dogs that you don't know and don't have a rapport with uneasy, right? But she and I know each other pretty well, so me being over the top of her is not a big deal. Now I want to control her head. So notice I'm putting a little bit of pressure front on this little slip leash. And then I'm going to pick her little foot up. She's still panting, I like that. Now, an important thing to remember, many people, when the dog starts pulling their foot back, they want to squeeze the foot. You can't squeeze the foot. If you squeeze, you're causing discomfort. So imagine I go to shake your hands, I actually grab your fingers and then I squeeze. And so that's what happens. If I have a helper to help me, I'm going to have them extend the foot like so. I put my hand behind the elbow, okay? If I'm doing it by myself, I come over the top like so. I put it in my hand. And I'm trying to look for her. Go away, kitty cat. Okay. I'm just kind of reading her feelings. Another thing to mention, I'm very honest. I never sneak. I will never try to sneak to trim a nail. She needs to know what's happening, that it's coming, and accept that that is coming. Never trick them. If you trick them, you break your trust. So, do you ever do things you don't want to do? It's part of life. We all do it. So don't trick them. I never try to slip a leash on them. I never try to shove a muzzle. And I also don't try to trim your nail without you knowing. Now, with a dog who's really afraid of a nail trim, I'm going to make darn sure that I don't quick her. That was lovely. I just barely trimmed the dew claw. It's really nice. Okay, you see, I'm just going to kind of let her come down. Not bad. And for me, this is not about the quality of the nail trim. Awesome. So I have a very prideful feeling when she's doing well. So this is not about a good nail trim. This is about her perception of the nail trim. So let her come down. Yeah. Make it a good thing for her. This is really, really good. Okay, so we've gotten two nails trimmed. And you see she's having a little reaction, so then we wait. I do a little restraint. I'm putting a little pressure on her, and then I wait. All right, if we kind of look at her nails, you see there's a little white tip. I just want to take the tip. And I actually explained to my clients this entire concept. It was not about a good nail trim. I did not hurt you, did not. And we wait. Like all creatures, you can only take so much adrenaline, so much stress before you lash out, and that's kind of what she's doing. So you should not continue trimming when she does that. Just wait. My confidence comes in the fact that her teeth are in the muzzle and she can't bite me, so I can do what I need to do, take my time, be slow, be patient. You know, one of my 3 pillars is patience. It's the first pillar for a reason. It takes the time that it takes, and if you're not willing to take the time, you will never get the relationship that you want. Now I'm going to use my leg just to lift her up. Just wait. Positive feelings. Remember, people, positive feelings. I love nail trims. And relax. When she gets upset, you relax. I say what we treat here are feelings. Everything is about a feeling. I can also turn this little foot backwards a little bit. I can trim it from the other direction. You do want to be careful about not getting head-butted. Them flying up is a real thing, not fun. All right, and we'll do a little different. We'll come around from the back. Be very careful not to quick her. Wonderful. All right, that's 1 foot. The fact that she did that last one, awesome. I'm going to call it right there. We don't need another foot. She's with me for a few more days. We can work on it each day until we get them all done. Woo! All right, that's a big calming signal, right? Adrenaline. She feels that I'm done. And that's her coming down off the adrenaline. Hope this makes sense. This is my way of doing it. There are many ways, I'm sure, but this is what we have found in order to build a little trust, make the nail trim not torture. I hope it helps. Let me know. Drop a comment, ask me a question. I'd love to hear from you.